Episode 18, Northwest Thailand and Hong Son Loop, 31st of May to the 4th of July, where we will head to China. Sitting in the garden of my Thailand hotel, looking across the Mekong at Laos, thinking that Laos was my favourite Asian country. The border crossing today was an absolute pleasure. It really was. Everybody was so helpful and I was through and out within an hour. Wonderful. Seaport complete with the Navy presence, goods and people being ferried back and forth. International departure and arrivals. People catching little longboats across the river into Laos. Back in Thailand, big brightly coloured temples, busy marketplaces. Even on a Sunday the place is quite busy, and big golden Buddha watching from the hill. Coffee at 10:22 with Mike Johns, very good. And beautiful mountain scenery as we move towards Chiang Mai. Rooms here are still dirt cheap. This was a $25 room. New shoes on the back, Dunlop Battle Max at $35,200. This fella fixed up the damage to my toolboxes and night food markets. Chiang Mai is an old city surrounded by a moat and leftover bits of the perimeter wall. The moat is very dark green with algae, but absolutely alive with fish and lotus lilies. It's quite nice and well kept. The gardens are very well kept. These flash dragons everywhere. Motorcycle paramedic, what a great idea for a first responder. The Three Kings choosing the third site of Chiang Mai. The first two were washed away. A lot of golden temples, and I got a Chinese visa. I had been laid up for 4 days with food poisoning. Chiang Mai from one of the lookouts on the way to Do Sep. We are high in the mountains and it is very cloudy. We get rain every day. I was hoping to fly the drone, but I'm still in the airport zone. Do Sep is quite a touristy town with a lot of tourist markets. In the clouds, very misty. Very cool. It's nice riding around in here today, and the air is so sweet and fresh. Sitting in the clouds. It's a lovely day. Lotus lilies are out this morning as we leave for the Mae Hong Son loop. It's very beautiful. Heading for the Highlands, hoping to escape the humidity down here in the city. I came across Chiang Do Caves, a Buddhist temple set in a limestone cave. They've got these beautiful fish ponds everywhere. There are 3 temples within this very long cave. There are beautiful stalactite and stalagmite formations. There's a male and a female serpent in that picture. There was nothing at my target town except some beautiful scenery. It was beautiful, cool riding through this section of mountains. Not a lot of mountain scenery between the vegetation and the cloud cover. At this point I'm starting to get a little bit concerned as to where I might find a hotel or guest house. The villages seem to be running out very quickly. I'm keeping my eye out for potential camping sites. I do have a little bit of food on board. Luckily I did come across a little village with beautiful accommodation. The view from the balcony of my $20 bungalow and $20 includes a fruit salad for breakfast. Might get a nice sunset there tonight depending on the cloud cover. Town I have to ride into for dinner. I have some spag I might just cook up here myself. I'll take that back. The owner brought me a beautiful meal. Tonight's storm making its way in over the mountains. The storm I was watching creeping in over the mountains has arrived. Robbed me of the view, robbed me of any chance of a sunset. It's cooled off quite a bit, it's quite nice now. And the storm's still moving further north. It will soon rob me of what little view of those mountains. But the coolness is lovely. The rice paddies will fill up. I don't think these are bunded. The ones down the bottom have already filled up. You must have plugged them off. There's a couple here that have been turned, but not yet full. I'd say they're ready to be plugged up and start filling. As I left this little village in Chiang Mai the next morning, the 3024 highway soon turned into quite a slippery, challenging, wet clay road. It seemed fairly handleable at first. I came across a shallow river crossing causeway which didn't pose any sort of problem. The track just keeps deteriorating. I came across quite a deep, fast flowing river with steep, slippery clay banks. I didn't even have the opportunity to park the bike and take a photo. The decision was made to turn around and go back. It had cost me a couple of hours on the day, but I just wasn't prepared to follow a track that was deteriorating at this rate on my own. Even with a buddy, that second crossing was deep. Just off the main road to Pai Mak Bay waterfall. Tourist town of Pai on the Mae Hong Son loop. It's a nice town, very busy town, big markets, lots of street food, beautiful $28 room and a cold beer on my veranda. Cheers, it had been a long day. Walking street at night, great place for a feed. The next day I took a walk up the hill to have a look at the White Buddha. Beautiful view of the town of Pai. Google Maps on a good day. And the strawberry farm for lunch. I went out to have a look at the Pai Canyon and added my sticker to the sticker board up there. There we go. Ta-da! Laundry day, just watching the wheels go around in Pai. Short ride from Pai to Mae Hong Son through the fog. A beautiful little tea house up on the top where I met some fellow bikers from Chiang Mai. We swapped stickers. It's quite cool. I actually pulled out some leather. A little bit of drizzle and rain and plenty of bikes running up and down. Beautiful mountain scenery all through this Mae Hong Son loop area. And Mae Hong Son itself, where I pulled up at the Pai guest house and put my sticker up among all the other travellers, these guys from down under. Rock and roll girl trained up outside my $28 room. The Wat next door was worth exploring on the lake. Big market area down in one corner of town. All sorts of things, nice colourful clothing, lots of food. Cheers and beers from my little balcony of my $30 room. Lush rainforest gardens, there's a swimming pool over there and it's just chucking it down. Like, why would you want to be camping in this weather? Walking up the hill the next morning to the Wat. Very long, hot, humid walk up the hill to Gormore Temple and the view, the runway just there, the pond next to my hotel. Mae Hong Son on the Burmese border. Saturday night at Mae Hong Son. Rock and Roll Girl's got some company. My bike's been lonely all week. Couple of new stickers. Mae Hong Son 4088 loops and my sticker on the Chamber of Commerce. Beautiful mountain scenery. Absolutely wonderful riding today. This beautiful bitumen road along these wonderful winding mountain curves, and absolutely nothing to worry about in the entire world. Just enjoy the curves and the zooming around. I do end up catching a couple of beamers further down the track. Not sure if they were at the hotel last night or not. You come through quite a few little towns. There's always something to eat. There's always plenty of fuel. This Mae Hong Son loop is such a relaxing ride. It is just wonderful. It really is. So here are those beamers. We'll catch up and have a bit of a play with them. Enjoy the curves. Tonight's town, I'm not sure of the name of it. It's where I swap from the 108 to the 105. So I'm not sure if Mae Sot is part of the loop, but I added it in. I've got plenty of time. This guest house is beautiful right on the river. Mother with a child strapped to her chest and one running around the ground herding her goats along the muddy river through the middle of town. Beautiful, beautiful. Rain all day made for a slow riding day. Not a lot of views at all. It was just cloud and rain. Had to be very careful on the road. A little bit of oil around, but more than anything, there was smears of red clay that you can see here. This is extremely slippery, so I had to be very careful along the road. Still nice riding. The rain gets a bit monotonous as it does. I ended up pulling up early. Mae Salat, there's not much here. The room was dry, Rock and Roll Girls undercover, and they got cold beers in the lobby. I'll move on towards the Burmese border tomorrow. Tuesday, 18th of June. Nice relaxing ride from Mae Salat to Mae Sot along the Burmese border, which is just a muddy little creek at the top end of Moe River. There are plenty of these border checks. None of them were at all interested in me. Beautiful big open sweepers, made for quite a relaxing ride. There was a little bit of rain later in the day, but most of the day was quite enjoyable. The border here at the Moe is only a shallow, muddy little creek between Burma, or Myanmar if you like, and Thailand. So I got to Mae Sot fairly early. I had a good walk and a look around. It's quite a busy town. Beautiful mountain scenery along the way in between the showers and the rain, but the rain didn't get monotonous. Mae Sot is a lovely town, quite busy marketplace. I had a nice hotel there, a little bit expensive, around $25 mark. Rock and Roll Girl under the cover behind the gate. At Mae Sot, just off the Burmese border. The travelling and the raining does catch up. I just had a day off just to relax, a massage and a beer with dinner. Thursday 20th of June, just a short ride from Mae Sot to Tak. It's only an hour and a half. Beautiful wide roads, bit of rain about. This is the monsoon season. The rain is getting monotonous. You just got to put up with it. Nice short ride, beautiful roads. Tak on the Ping River. Quite a surprising town, very busy. Beautiful big river flowing through it. Well kept parks and gardens along the riverbank. Very busy marketplace. In all the back streets there's markets and businesses. My hotel, that big blue building down the bottom there. And rock and roll girl chained up undercover. My nice room, which includes breakfast. It's a little bit expensive. And the night market outside my window. Walking around the night market, just picking up skewers at 10 baht a pop, about 40 cents. The octopus is the only one I could pick. By 8:30, everything's gone. Beautiful sunny day, running down Highway 1 between Tak and Lampang. Got here nice and early, had some lunch and a bit of a walk around. It's a very busy town, quite a big town, on the Wang River. Too many airports around to get the drone up. A few sites around Lampang, the White Temple, Clock Tower, a couple of bridges and some river scenery. Rock and roll girl is chained up inside the guest house. The owner is an avid ADV fan with a couple of Beamers and a big Triumph. It's just a room for the night. Cheers and beers on the river. A beautiful little restaurant with a sunset. They did offer marijuana pizza, but I just stuck with the ribs. It was a really good night out, and the included breakfast made the room worthwhile. Riding towards Chiang Mai, I stopped at an elephant conservation. I wish I hadn't. Both front feet chained. The elephant is so restricted as to its movement. Just swaying, bored, stupid. I'm sorry I paid to come in here. It was advertised as the government elephant conservatory. If this is the best they can do, their best just isn't good enough. The chain is so short, the poor fella can barely move his front right leg at all. This is not elephant conservation. This is cruelty to animals. Don't support this conservation centre. A few cheap, low-level circus tricks. This is just shameful. They sell little baskets of elephant treat. For 50 baht you get a handful of folded grass, a short piece of sugar cane and some ladyfingers. The kids like to feed the elephants. Big, open, well-posted highways as I make my way between two major cities. The traffic is a little bit heavier today as I get closer to Chiang Mai, and then the skyscrapers and taller buildings start. So I'll spend 4 nights in Chiang Mai. I had an oil filter waiting for me back at the Rose Hotel for 4 nights on the north wall of the moat for $25. It's a good room. I get my own private balcony overlooking the moat. Nice big room. Kettle, fridge, safe. Beautiful hot water from what I remember here last time. It's a nice room. For $24, it's a nice room. Looking for a feed. Rock and roll girl chained up in the car park within the grounds as I enjoy the sunset at dinner time. On the north wall of the old city, right in the middle of everything, within a day's ride of Laos. Sunday the 23rd, bit of a relaxing day around Chiang Mai. Unloaded the swag and aired it out. Rock and roll girl got dropped off at the car wash. While the swag was aired out, I took the sheets and blankets for a tuk-tuk ride to the laundromat. Just managed to get my swag in off the little veranda. I had been watching the storm. I took my sheets and blankets down to the laundromat, and I had been watching the storm sneaking in. Beat it home, saved my swag. So I can start putting this back together. Everything's been laundried and aired. Happy. Monday 24th I went out to B&S Speed. There's a beautiful shop out there, plenty of off-road and adventure bike accessories to choose from. Rock and roll girl got plenty of loving. She got her oil change, she's got clean filters and a new front tyre. This shop has a large range of tyres. It's worth going to. The TKC 70 is only about half worn, but just got no grip. The mud paddle wouldn't last. I took a Michelin Anarchy Wild, see how she lasts. 36,100 shiny new stickers, 1,000 baht, 40 bucks. Coffee, fruit salad and croissant for breakfast on this rainy morning, riding towards the Laos border. I did stop in at 1022 Coffee. I put my sticker on his board and he put his sticker on my right hand toolbox. The weather improved as I moved further north towards Chiang Mai, and it's quite a big town. It's a nice town. I'll stop here 2 nights, just have a day off. It'll be good. So here I am at Nam Kong on the riverside, bike chained up behind the owner's car. Nice room back in Chiang Kong on the Laos border. This room includes a breakfast, 700 baht. I want to take the bottom floor just because I'm directly on the lawn, and beautiful view of the Mekong. That's Laos across the river there. I'll have tomorrow off. I cross Friday. I don't need to be at the Chinese border until the 4th, so I've got plenty of time. And it's got a nice restaurant up on top there, overlooking the river. I'll cross Friendship Bridge on Friday, and not far from Bhutan. Exit Thailand within 15 minutes. Very smooth. The changeover. Thai ride on the left, Lao ride on the right. Thai flags down the side of the bridge, the mandatory picture in the middle, and Lao flags on the Lao side of Friendship Bridge. So we approach the Lao entry. There were a bus load of backpackers here, and I did spend some time queuing up. All told, it took about an hour to clear both gates. It was very smooth, there was no drama, no coffee or tea money. I got some local SIM cards and money from a nearby town, found a Bhutan and Luan Namantha signpost. Luan Namantha is tonight's target town. I love these twisties in Laos lowlands. They're fairly wide and sweeping. You've still got to be very careful because you will come around a corner to a truck using both sides, goats, cattle, and smashed up roads. The roads here are not that reliable. You will occasionally come across some foliage laid in the traffic lane. This is their idea of traffic cones to warn you of impending danger, such as a broken down truck. You can see his foliage on the road there, closing that lane. I love these little villages that you ride through. There's not much in the way of services here. You need to carry a little bit of fuel with you, and have a full belly before you leave the major towns. But these woven bamboo huts and timber huts are quite nice. And the lowland twisties are also very enjoyable, being again careful of road conditions. I do spend most of the day climbing. I'm not sure how high I am. My ears did pop a couple of times. The road does start to deteriorate quite quickly, and it comes good again as we approach Luang Amanta, but the Botan Road is going to be quite ordinary, to say the least. Asia's Iron Buffalo ploughing up a paddock. The view from my room in Luang Prabang. A $5 meal plus beer at the local night market. Walking around the back streets of Luang Amanta. Corner here with 3 big motorcycle shops on them. Honda's the big name right through Asia. Every Asian town has a marketplace. The restaurant owner put me onto glucose to combat my tiredness. Leaving Luang Namta, the road starts out pretty good. It quickly deteriorates as you leave Natayu. Big potholes, lots of trucks. You just have to take it steady, stand up on the pegs and bounce through them. You have to move over for these trucks. You're just not taking this on riding a motorcycle. There was quite a bit of a jam, and once I crept up and made my way to the front, you just have to tuck in tight when a semi is coming the other way, and look out for ropes dangling down. You don't want that around your handlebar or foot peak. It's no good trying to paddle here. Your foot will land in a hole and you won't be able to reach the ground. Once at the front, I could see a semi had fallen off the road and was bogged on its front axle. There's quite a grubby town just before you get to the new railway station. There seems to be a lot of accommodation and a big truck parking area up here at the railway. I'm guessing a lot of these truckies must stop and have a break. No idea what this small gate is. Maybe the old railway. You do come across a very large gate, which I at first thought was the border. I wasn't ready to cross, but it's just the railway. It is an old gate, I think. You just ride through, and Botan is another 4 or 5 kilometres up the road. Botan is still under construction and didn't meet my expectations. So here I am on China's doorstep. Short flight over Botan before I leave Southeast Asia for China. China has big plans for this entire area. They do have this big white and gold exhibition hall. You can go and have a look at the models and the literature in there. Below us is the truck gate, and that golden stupa is the exit entry for cars and people walking. So they tell me that these buildings are not abandoned, that they are working on them slowly. Most of these in this corner are empty and finished to some level, but not yet occupied. It is going to be a huge town. These look like older buildings. I'm not sure how old they are. And this is my hotel coming up. Big white concrete elephants in the car park, and rock and roll girl over there in the corner with her orange tarp over the swag. A lot of lovely bushland around the place. At the moment it does look like another Chinookville, and it's going to be huge. It really is. They're going to extend it all the way down to that railway gate that we saw 3 or 4 kilometres down the road. We'll just go down and have a quick look at that railway and the amount of truck parking down here and back there behind the golden stupa. There are a lot of trucks on that road, but I think at the moment they must be depending on the railway as the main goods transport. There's a passenger train there as well, and it is a high-speed train. I didn't get as far down here as I would have liked before I got low signal warnings and just returned to home. Only a couple of hotels in town. I ended up in quite a flash hotel because it's a very seedy town, and this one has a secure off-street parking. Botan is still under construction. The Chinese have big plans for the area. It will look very nice once it's finished. Some dollar accommodation in the back streets here. What looks like a camp kitchen. Those green slums that I thought might be a work camp are behind there. There's not a lot of lights on around town. You can see how many unfinished buildings there are, but also how many abandoned buildings there are. Mobs of youngish men, mid-30s at the most maybe, just wandering around this disaster of a city. The main road with whorehouses, restaurants, a couple of barbershops. Unfinished high-rises up this end, closer to the highway. The old economic zone building, which has now been abandoned for that big flash white and gold one. And a night food market away from the town, which is a much more peaceful place to come for dinner. This seems like a married man's area, probably from those green slums. I met a couple of blokes who had just crossed from Nepal, and a heap of Chinese fellas on their way home. So this is Friendship Avenue and the Laos exit point, which I will go to on the 4th of July. Goodbye to Southeast Asia. I had a really wonderful time here, met some beautiful people, saw some absolutely fantastic places. See you in China for July.